Alright, so chat, first, because this is just gonna be torture killing thousands of Endermen, basically, I'm just gonna listen to, like, a story, so, Scrubs. You know what? Nah, I'm gonna listen to it on Spotify, so y'all could hear it, too. So, Scrubs.
So in high school every year, my school would put on a talent show, generally found to, you know, figure out what kids had talent and which ones didn't. And of course, I don't really have any talent. I play video games and talk about stuff on the internet. That's by far my biggest talent. So I was never involved in being in the show, but I had a lot of talented friends that could play music and do cool stuff. And they would always be like, hey Ryan, can you come to the show and support me? And I'm not gonna say no. If my friend wants me to come support him while he's showing off his talent, absolutely, no problem. So this year was no exception. My friend was playing guitar at the talent show and was like, hey Ryan, you know, it'd mean a lot to me if I came. And I was like, yeah, for sure, man, that's what she said, but I'll definitely try to stop by and watch the talent show, no problem, because that's what you do, you support your friends. And if you don't support your friends, you're kind of a bad friend. So the night comes and I head into my school's auditorium, ready to, you know, watch some talent shows, see what my school has to offer in terms of people with naturally good abilities, and hopefully have a great time, get a good story out of it, because my friend would win or something, I don't really know. And what I found was so much better than just someone playing the guitar, ladies and gentlemen. So as I was walking in, they handed out this little brochure that had everybody's talent and what their show was gonna be and who they were. And about halfway down, 3 acts after my friend, was the Minecraft club. You see, my school was super open to having clubs. They thought it made them look better to like school boards and whatnot, so basically any club that anyone wanted to make, the school would just let you do it. And a group of kids that I'm gonna politely say were nerds without using a different word decided that they were gonna start a Minecraft club. And every day after school, they would hang out in this teacher's computer lab and play Minecraft for hours at a time. And they were pretty much a meme amongst the school. They would always do really funny things at the Minecraft club that were pretty cringy, and most of the people in school, like, they were pretty harmless, but you know, it was just kind of something we would laugh at amongst ourselves, that the Minecraft club was a real thing at our school. And now they were doing a show in the talent show, which meant I just couldn't ignore it anymore. I was going to be faced with the hardest decision of my life. Do I laugh? And the description for what the Minecraft Club was going to do at the talent show was the live world of Minecraft. And I knew instantly that this was going to be a classic, take a picture for my cringe compilation material. So for the beginning of the talent show, I am waiting in patient anticipation of what I can only assume is going to be the greatest thing I've ever seen. So it comes and goes. My friend does do a really good job. He's great at guitar, really talented guy. I'm pretty sure you're watching this, great job, bro. But finally, the lights dim and the announcer says, and welcome to the stage, the Minecraft Club. And my eyes are glistening, ladies and gentlemen. I am so excited to see what they have to offer. The C14 music starts playing, which makes me super nostalgic. Like, whenever I hear the Minecraft intro now, I just cry about the fact that I'm not a 12-year-old on my Xbox. But at the time, I was hyped. And out crawls, and yes, I mean crawls, a kid wearing a pink painted cardboard box that looks like a Minecraft pig. And he is on all fours, crawling across the stage. And at this point, I am like, this is going to be the greatest thing I've ever seen. Because let me paint this picture for you. Here you are in an auditorium filled with people waiting to see talent. Parents, grandmas, everyone. And on stage, you as a 17-year-old fat kid in a cardboard box painted to look like a Minecraft kid, crawling across the floor like some kind of snake demon from the game Doom, okay? That is the situation we're in. So of course, I'm already trying to contain my laughter, and it's really difficult. Like, you tell me watching a 17-year-old kid crawl across the floor in a pig costume isn't hard not to laugh at. And if you can say that, then you have no sense of humor, and you kind of deserve whatever comes to you, because you have no soul, because that's the funniest thing I could ever imagine. But it doesn't just end with a kid crawling across the floor on a pig. The music's playing, and out walks a kid in full-blown cardboard Minecraft Steve armor. Well, not armor, just in the Minecraft Steve suit with a microphone, and he goes, "Gee, what a strange world. I sure am glad that I have my friends here to craft with me." And out walks 3 more kids, all wearing Minecraft skin renditions of themselves. Keep in mind, this is high school. It's not middle school. It's not elementary school. All of these people can basically drive, and they are wearing Minecraft costumes on the stage. Also, how bad for the kid that was the pig? Like, imagine your kid comes home, Mom, we're gonna be at a talent show for Minecraft Club. You're like, oh, that's so great, honey. What are you? Well, most of them are gonna be people, but I get to be the pig, and I don't get to talk. All right, son. All right. So whatever, these Minecraft characters on stage and they start going through a day in the life of Minecraft. They're punching trees and the entire audience is just silent because like I said, most people in the audience are parents, grandmas, people there to support their dear Aunt Sally. But there is a super loud corner of the auditorium and I look over and it's the parents of all the kids in Minecraft Club and they're clapping and applauding and laughing at the play-by-play narration, which is basically a let's play going on live in front of us. So of course, I'm trying not to laugh because this is by far the cringiest thing I think I've ever seen in person. So for the next 10 minutes, I have to watch these kids break down Minecraft. There's full set design, by the way. This was not a small production. There's trees that they're punching and pulling blocks out of. They're talking about mining diamonds. And in the culmination of it all, ladies and gentlemen, the finale, after watching this for 20 grueling minutes of kids in Minecraft costumes going back and forth, the pig never left the stage. Poor kid didn't even get to say anything other than oink the entire time. They go through the end portal and they all hold hands with their little block arms and go, all right, guys, together on 3. Friendship is key. And at this point, I can't hold it in anymore. I'm laughing. The people in my row are looking at me because I look like a terrible person. They said friendship is key and I start giggling. But I mean, come on. There are people wearing Minecraft skins on stage talking about how friendship is magic, like a bad episode of Barney the Dinosaur in like 2015. And you expect me not to be giggling, all right? This is hysterical. This is the greatest thing I have ever seen. I wish I would have filmed it. If I had film of it, I would put it in a video right now. So I'm laughing hysterically. They jump in the end portal, and out comes, hanging up on wires, a fake ender dragon made out of paper. But you might be thinking, Ryan, it can't be that bad. It's a pretty sizable ender dragon, probably weighs enough to knock somebody down. That's gonna be important. And I guess whoever was backstage trying to control the ender dragon was probably getting confused with their cardboard arms. Maybe got a cardboard cut on the top of his shoulder, because as he's trying to maneuver it to be fighting the Minecraft characters that are supposedly sitting in front of me on stage, it drops to the ground and knocks over 3 of the Minecraft players that are supposedly trying to fight the Ender Dragon. And the kids all just kind of look like, I don't know what to do. So it's not like it was planned or anything. So man down on stage, Saving Private Ryan is about to initiate. The Ender Dragon has basically crushed these kids' cardboard costumes. And if they're not saved soon, they might actually get smothered to death by a fake paper Ender Dragon at a talent show. And that would not be a way to go. Imagine on your tombstone it says, "Here lies Alex Smith, crushed by a fake paper-mache Ender Dragon at a talent show. If only the talent was real. LOL, SMH, 69, no scopes only. Hashtag Ender Dragon for life." So now the entire audience is laughing, and the fans and the parents of the Minecraft Club are saying, "It's not funny, stop laughing, those are our children on stage." Sorry, your kid just got RKO'd by a paper-mache dragon and you expect people not to be laughing? Hate to break it to you, people are definitely going to laugh at their misfortune. It's nothing against you. It'd be hilarious if anyone was crushed by a giant paper dragon. It's even funnier because your kids are wearing fake Minecraft costumes. So whatever, they somehow get the paper dragon off the kids without incident, and the rest of the talent show goes on. Everybody still has the burning memory of 4 kids trapped underneath a paper-mache dragon like it's no tomorrow. And we get to the end and they're doing the award thing, and they're basically like, so, our judges have tallied the votes. And in first place, we have, and it was some girl who was singing, she was a really good singer. And I swear, the look on the Minecraft kids' face when they didn't win was pure disgust. And one of them goes, "Are you kidding me?" And the entire audience is like, what is going on? Because here is the Minecraft kids saying that they should have won the talent show when they didn't even get to finish their entire play without somebody basically dying to their paper dragon. So they start getting mad at the fact that they didn't win the talent show, and the judges are kind of having this look on their face like, what? So they have to politely pity give these kids 3rd place in the talent show for their absolutely disgusting, terrible Minecraft play, which was just not good to watch. It wasn't good acting. None of you are winning an Oscar. None of you are superheroes. You couldn't even do a Minecraft play right. And what's even funnier is when they came to school on Monday, people were making jokes about the fact that there was a Minecraft show at the talent show, and they just couldn't wrap their hands around why that was funny to everybody. They thought we were just some silly haters, when in reality, when you're 16, 17 years old, the last thing you should ever want to do in public is dress up like a Minecraft character and have a play. Moral of the story, if your kid ever comes to you and says, "Hey mom, can I please be in the talent show with me in my Minecraft club?" please say no, because the only thing that's going to happen is crowds are going to laugh at them. And if you have the audacity to get mad when your crappy Minecraft club doesn't win the talent show, then you're just a bad person, and you shouldn't be surprised when things that are pretty obvious happen.
Gain presents a tale of longing and long-lasting scent. Dear love of my life, we were on the 12B bus. when I caught a whiff. A scent so fresh, so life-changing, I had to find its source. I didn't know if you were the woman in the pink freshly washed cardigan or the retired mailman next to me, but I knew one of you was my soulmate. Ah, the scent of Gain Flings. Add Gain scent beads for an even longer lasting scent.
Okay, true stories from Huntington with Veronica and her banker, Roger.
Veronica, you were nervous about trying to get a home. Why is that?
Nobody likes to hear the word no. You know, one day I just said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the banker.
How'd it go, Roger?
If there was a bump in the road, we hit it, but we navigated right through it. Veronica kept pushing.
Get more than money from your bank. Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories. Loan subject to credit application and approval. Equal housing lender.
So the person who sent me this story works at a McDonald's, and you know, when you're working at a McDonald's, there's not a lot of stuff to keep you entertained. McDonald's is not like the most exciting place to ever work. You never heard anybody leave their shift at McDonald's going, "Ah, gee willikers, can't wait to come back," you know? So they're just kind of chilling, working the drive-thru, giving out food, and one of the other employees go on break, so this person kind of has to pick up the slack, and they have to take orders and hand out the orders at the same time. So they're focused, really in the zone, just trying to make sure that they're getting all these orders taken done, and then something breaks them out of this like super intense focus that they got going on while they're in the zone in the drive-thru, and that is police sirens, which is probably not the most relaxing thing to hear when like working at a McDonald's drive-thru, because I feel like the type of people that get arrested in McDonald's aren't, you know, high-class investment bankers that have been stealing billions of dollars. No, no, no. I feel like if your criminal empire crumbles while you're in the McDonald's drive-thru, it's probably because you're like not very good at crime and really need to work on the whole criminal element type of thing. Like if you're so obviously bad at a crime that your police officers can figure out what you did while you're still in the drive-thru line, then you know, you might not be the sharpest tool in the shed. But whatever, the police sirens go on and the manager and the worker are like, what's going on? So this worker's just chilling in the drive-thru trying to mind their own business, and next up is the cop coming over the intercom that's like, "Sir, please put your hands out of the window." And then the headset gets like cut off. The manager walks in and says, "Hey, they want you to get off the headset." So they can't really hear what's going on. Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm sorry. I have a cough. The only way that my cough will be cured is heading over to the Teespring store and catching the no joke, no scam merch. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's hot and this has been a commercial. Anyways, the headset gets taken off and next thing they see is this like beat up red truck get pulled around into the front where like you're supposed to park if your order's not ready in your drive-thru. So they pull up in this red truck and the cops come out and they're basically like, "Sir, step out of the car immediately. Please keep your hands where I can see them," over the intercom. You know, they're causing quite a scene in the McDonald's parking lot. All the people that are in the restaurant are looking out the window watching this go down because it's the most exciting thing that happened today so far because they're standing in a McDonald's, and the little hillbilly truck is sit there all beat up in the holding spot, which I guess is where they're supposed to like, you know, put cars if their food isn't ready or whatnot. So now the backup line for people that is like waiting for their food is getting longer because they don't have anywhere to tell people to pull forward and wait. So like if someone has a big order, they have to make the line get longer. It's just a disaster. So the person goes back to working their butt off to try to get all these orders taken care of at McDonald's. Hashtag respect the grind. And this is when it gets crazy because the man that was inside the truck looks exactly what you would expect your uncle that believes in every conspiracy theory to look like. You know, he's got his chew in his mouth and he's telling the cops, "I'm an American citizen. You have no right to arrest me. I'm going about my business, sir. I'm not driving. I'm traveling." Like, you know, one of those people where they pretend that they don't have to follow the law because the Constitution doesn't say that you need a driver's license. Like, just that crazy type of stuff. It's one of those dudes who definitely believes that Obama is a wizard who sends tornadoes to Kansas with his like Voldemort wand, you know, like one of those guys. And obviously he's out of the car and the police are now like, "Oh, we're gonna search the truck." And as soon as the police say that he's gonna search the truck, redneck guy, "Oh, you guys need a warrant for that? Hey man, brother, like how dare you think that you're gonna be able to search my truck? Oh, hell no, man, you ain't searching my truck. Only thing you'll all be searching is my fist in your face," which is a really bad thing to say to a cop. cop, like, this is for all of you. Welcome to Ryan's school of avoiding getting sent to prison. Step number 1, if the police are, you know, being a little bit mean to you, that's crappy. You should defend yourself. But threatening to beat up the cops probably is not the best idea, especially when you're already in handcuffs. And it becomes very obvious shortly why the man was so against the police searching the truck, okay? Because the police opened the door of this truck, and as soon as the door opens, 3-gallon sized bags of what, you know, looks like Tic Tacs comes falling out of the truck. The only difference is these aren't Tic Tacs that make your breath fresher. These are Tic Tacs that you take and then, you know, have a very nice sleep afterwards. Or maybe you watch some movies that are suddenly way funnier, you know? But 3 gallons worth of Tic Tacs come falling out of this man's car, like the second the cops open the door, obviously. And now it becomes very apparent why homeboy here is so adamant that the cops need to follow the Constitution, because this beat up truck, this old white dude that thinks Obama's a wizard, yeah, he was running some stuff for some certain groups of people that then sell that Tic Tacs at a higher price than they make it for. If you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, you know, just a typical day as a McDonald's worker, watching a drug bust go down through your, you know, McDonald's headset drive-through window as an old man is getting arrested for having 3 gallons of pills sitting on the passenger seat of his truck like it's no big deal. And you know what the old man does when these gallons of Tic Tacs and pills come falling out of his car? Does he say, oh man, dude, like, hey, listen, cops, you've got me. Obviously, there's a reason. Let's talk this out and try to come to a peaceful solution. No, he gets up with the handcuffs on and starts like trying to run out of the parking lot, bro. So the cops walk over and they're like, hey man, listen, you're not very fast. Like, they don't even have to chase him down. He's so bad at running away. You ever seen somebody try to escape and like run and it just doesn't make any sense because they're not very good at the running thing? Like, this guy maybe makes it 2 feet before he runs out of breath because he's an obese old dude in the parking lot. So they sit him back down. They're like, okay, nice try. And after this, you know, the headset, there's McDonald's noise going on. They're getting orders and stuff, so they don't hear everything because the talking calms down a lot. That it's a lot less yelling about how, hey, you don't got the right to look at my truck, brother, get your hands out my truck, and a lot more like making excuses. But what they can hear is that this old man with 3-gallon sized bag of pills that just fell out of his truck is now trying to explain to the cop that no, officer, it's all a big misunderstanding. See, no, I'm not trying to sell these. I would never. That's disgusting. I'm not a criminal. No, me. See what I do is my wife, yeah, it's my wife's fault. Yeah, she's super sick and all of her friends are sick. So I just get all their pills at once so that way they don't have to go do it, you know? Like, I'm just really trying to help out my wife who's super sick. That's my entire goal. You understand, officer, right? Like, he's trying to tell the cops with a straight face that he has 3-gallon bags of pills because him and his wife's friends are sick and his wife is sick and she needs them. Bruh, if your wife is so sick that she needs to take 3 gallons of pills to stay awake every day, then I think it's time to, you know, take your dog in the backyard and take your wife in the backyard. And you know, in Old Yeller, when they put the dog down, yeah, no, you just make your dog put your wife down instead, okay? Because if you're taking 3 gallons of pills, bruh, you've got some deeper problems. And my favorite part of this, right, is while all this is going on, this man is trying to explain to the cops that his wife simply needs 3 gallons of pills every day. Okay, officer, it's not my fault that I'm trying to take care of my wife. I'm just a husband trying to do the right thing. Is that there's a McDonald's, like, continuing business, you know, and I guess it's their prime busy hours, so there are tons of people in the drive-thru. There's people walking in. Kids are getting Happy Meals. One kid's, you know, doing backflips on the play place while this old man is getting arrested, and the entire time people are like, oh, what's going on? To all the workers as if they know, you know, and I guess one person asked one of the workers, oh, what's going on? And the worker didn't know, and like the customer got frustrated that they didn't know what's going on, because that's just how it works at McDonald's, I guess. I feel like working at McDonald's has to be the worst because you're constantly going to get yelled at. So obviously there's this giant line behind the drive-thru now because there's a bit of a theatrics going on. People are having a hard time getting out of the drive-thru because the cop cars are blocking it. There's a car in the holding spot. Nothing is very poppin' right now, you know? And what do you get at McDonald's after watching a man get arrested with 3 gallons of pills, ladies and gentlemen? Do you get a free Big Mac? Do you get a free soda? Hell, maybe they just start handing out $1 bills with their French fries. No, you get a free small fry, which I mean is better, man. If I get free fries every time someone gets arrested at Walmart, I'm gonna start becoming a bounty hunter and purposely telling the police to meet me at McDonald's just so I can get some extra fry gang.
If you're hearing this in your Rolls Royce, then Donald Trump's tax plan is for you.
You're rich as hell. We're going to give you a tax cut?
But for everyone else, there's Kamala Harris's plan.
Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut.
Because that guy in the Ferrari doesn't need another break. But Kamala Harris knows you sure could use one. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Okay, true stories from Huntington with Veronica and her banker, Roger.
Veronica, you were nervous about trying to get a home. Why is that?
Nobody likes to hear the word no. You know, one day I just said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the banker.
How'd it go, Roger?
If there was a bump in the road, we hit it. But we navigated right through it. Veronica kept pushing.
Get more than money from your bank. Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories. Loan subject to credit application and approval. Equal housing lender.
So this friend of mine lives in an apartment building, and when you're in apartment buildings, you know, your relationship with your neighbors is a little different. The people underneath you, if they're loud, like, it's hard to sleep. You know, the people above you stomp around like wildebeest. It's hard to sleep, you know. You kind of have to get along with your neighbors a little bit better if you're in an apartment than you do in a house. So this guy, you know, the neighbors above them, for whatever reason, kind of behave like nocturnal wildebeest. They're just like clomping on the floor as loud as possible, constantly slamming doors, constantly having people coming and going in the stairs right outside some people's bedrooms. Like, these people basically have, you know, just in a constant stream of traffic. You would think the subway was leaving from the 3rd floor of this apartment building if you didn't know any better, man. So whatever, obviously it's pretty annoying, and you know, they don't really get along with the neighbors on the noise frontier. But this friend of mine isn't gonna be mean. Like, he doesn't want beef, so he doesn't report them for being loud. You know, he doesn't report them for anything, because as annoying as it is for them to be loud above them, it's not like ruining their entire life. They're still sleeping okay. And then there's a turning point. You know, they already weren't big fans of the neighbors, and one of them had left, you know, their bike outside on like the front of their apartment. And obviously, because there's a constant stream of people who tend to be buying some things that the government doesn't want you to be buying, coming and leaving the apartment, you know, the bike goes missing. So obviously they're annoyed, and they go up to their upstairs neighbors. They say, hey, we think somebody that was coming and going took our bike. Can you ask whoever is coming and going to give it back, you know, because it was an expensive bike. And they weren't going to call the cops. That wasn't the threat. Basically the thing they were saying is, look, we know what you're doing. We're not going to snitch. We're not going to be those people. But in return, you got to fix the bike situation, okay? I know that the people that are coming and going probably have a good reason to listen to you. So you're just going to make them give us the bike back. However, you know, the dude wasn't very receptive to this and started screaming at them, basically saying that, like, what were you, cops, you know? And like, how dare you have the nerve to, you know, come on, knock on my door? Do you have any idea who I am? How many dangerous people I know? The exact opposite of what you should do. You know, if you want to do things that are sometimes contrary to the law, okay? Sometimes maybe go against the code. Like, if you're gonna break the law, which I don't suggest you do, you want to lay low. You don't want to threaten the people that are just coming up to you and saying, look, man, we know somebody that's coming to this apartment for a nefarious reason took our bike. Just get it back. It's not that difficult, you know? We've been chill. We haven't complained. You guys are a little loud. We haven't mentioned any of it. So, like, just get us our bike back. But the guy who opens the door of the apartment is like, nah, basically, screw yourself. You know, we're not going to help you. But he doesn't say screw. He says a very naughty word that I don't want to say so I can keep this video monetized. So everybody that lives in the apartment is basically like, look, we're not going to get the bike back. So they eat it, and they're like, well, in that case, we're not going to be, you know, helpful to them anymore. You know, like, they would... if they saw somebody watching the apartment or whatever, they would kind of, you know, signal to the people above them, hey, look, you might want to chill out for a bit so you don't get in trouble. They're like, nope, no more. We're not going to say anything. We're not going to say anything at all. And they were telling me that when they say that the traffic was constant to this apartment, it was pretty constant, to the point where, you know, it was pretty quick. Word would get around town pretty quick that this was a place where you could get stuff, you know, webkins, those top secret webkins that everybody wants, those ultra rare ones. This was the #1 apartment you could get them at. If you think I'm actually talking about webkins, then keep believing that, but if you know what I'm talking about, then good, we're on the same page. Anyways, one of the people in the apartment notices a car kind of staking out, watching people coming and going from this apartment at a pretty consistent flow, you know, and it's a little weird that the car is out there for a long time. Usually cars will come and go in, you know, 20 minutes, but this one stayed, and just nobody got out, nobody moved from the car, nobody moved in the car. It just kind of sat there for a while, and then it left. So
The people in the apartment kind of know what's up, but they're not going to tell their neighbors because the neighbor has the bad issue. You know, if your neighbor threatens you, look, man, I ain't your lookout no more. Sorry, that truce is over. You got to figure this stuff out on your own. I am no longer liable. It's like the second you turn 18 and responsibilities become real, you know? Like, you accidentally break something expensive in a store before you're 18, your mom is disgusted. You accidentally break something expensive in the store after you're 18, your mom laughs and says, have fun paying for it, not my job anymore, you know? It's just that lifestyle. Sometimes you gotta live it. It can be a little dangerous for you people out there, you know? Regardless, they don't say anything at all, so the house keeps running as normal, and cars are coming and going and watching it for about a week. And then a friend of mine who is a YouTuber, you know, the one I'm telling you about, that lives here, wakes up one morning, and his head sits by the window near the stairwell, and he looks, and instead of seeing, you know, a normal person coming and going from the apartment, or like maybe one of his friends going, you know, somewhere, like going upstairs for some reason, whatever it was, what he sees is a man in an entire SWAT uniform, AR-15 and all, walking up the stairs of the apartment. So my friend kind of makes a noise, and the guy looks back and kind of looks at him and just like gives him like a signal, and he says, okay. So my friend decides it's probably best to step away from the window, you know. You probably don't want to be near the window if the SWAT team's about to go in on a house that may or may not, you know, hold some substances that would lead to a violent response from its inhabitants. I just sounded like a Harvard graduate for a minute. That's impressive of me, all right? I want some street cred. So regardless, not too long after that, they hear a bunch of loud bangs and booms as the door gets kicked in on the apartment above them, and that guy that was just on the stairs is now rushing into their upstairs neighbor's house, all right? So obviously, you know, they kind of got raided, which I guess happens if you live that lifestyle. I wouldn't know because I grew up a very sheltered boy. I've never seen such hardships in my life, you know? I just don't get it, but I guess apparently, you know, you just get used to it, so they're getting arrested and the cops throw them down and they're like talking to people underneath and they're like, oh, did you know, you know, did you know that they were doing any of this? And surprisingly, the level of petty that somebody else in the house, not my friend, went to is they had written down every time people had come and gone ever since they got into the first fight when the guy was like, not my problem, stay out of my face, or like, you know, we're gonna have issues. They had reached that level of petty, and that's the level of petty I hope to achieve at some point in my life with something. Like just the ability to keep a detailed log of something that I shouldn't care about just to screw over people that have wronged me. Like that's some next level petty, all right? That's some evil petty. That's James Bond villain level petty that I think we need more of in this world. I'm just saying, if people were more petty, maybe Martha Stewart would have never committed insider trading. It's just something to think about, you know? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I asked my friend to politely describe the way that a SWAT team sounds breaking into the apartment above you, and he described it as, which, you know, I think is a pretty good representation of what it would be like. Moral of the story is, if you're gonna do illegal things, kids, when people come to you with a pretty simple request, considering they help you, and don't snitch on any of the things that you're doing wrong, maybe, just maybe, it's better to be nice. And apparently be careful of who you cross, because some people out there are petty enough to give the police a freaking bar graph of your activities on everything you've been doing, which is pretty incredible, man. Microsoft Excel has always been confusing to me, dude. The only squares I'm good with is Minecraft, but that dude was really out there solving crimes like Scooby-Doo with some graphing. That's the real message that Scooby-Doo was about, okay? It wasn't about friendship and how you can use it to help your community. No. Scooby-Doo was just learning how to use calculations to figure out that your neighbor's probably doing something illegal. You know, I guess I just, you know, I feel like it's just easier to be nice, even if you're doing stuff that is illegal. Like, just be nice to people, bro. You'll probably spend less time in jail. And the people in jail will be nicer. School not that, like, weird stuff sometimes, you know, like, you'll just be sitting there in biology class, really trying to vibe out, learn about molecules, and some kid is like, man, I don't know why we're learning about molecules. Everybody knows that science is made up by the government in order to control us. And you're like, Tony, what does freshman biology give the government control over? And he looks at you and goes, everything. Some people in school just have really weird beliefs. I didn't know anyone named Tony that hated the government, but I feel like that could be an actual thing. And for some reason, there was a group of kids at this subscriber's school that really, like, hated technology, okay? You know, thought that phones were brainwashing people. You know those I'm 14 and this is deep posts where it's like, we don't connect anymore, but we're more connected, with a Wi-Fi logo, and you're like, all right, Trevor, you're in 7th grade, cool it, your girlfriend's not gonna text you you back right now because she's busy. Those type of people that just thought that they were way too swagtastically deep. And there was a group of people at this school that just, you know, thought that technology was the devil and how it was destroying humanity. When, like, bro, are you kidding me? You think technology is destroying humanity? I'm sorry, but the fact that we can just call China and be like, hey, yo, bro, please don't nuke us, instead of having to send a letter by carrier pigeon, is all the proof that you need that it really ain't that bad. Real talk, though, technology does have some flaws, but these people would basically, you know, judge you and ridicule you if you were using your phone, which, I mean, look, if you want to be a kook and deny that technology does good things and never use it, that's fine. At least do it the way the Amish do and not bug anybody else with it. But these people would, like, go into classes and, you know, be like, oh, that phone is collecting information on you. And you're like, all right, cool, no big deal. But there was that group of people, and most people thought that that group was pretty weird. It's not every day that a group of teenagers are anti-technology. And for whatever reason, one of this person's friends that they used to be pretty close with, you know, they had a couple classes together and would hang out outside of school every now and then, started hanging out a little bit with this whole, like, anti-technology squad, right? And the people that were in the original friend group were like, wow, that's a little bit odd and unlike you, but I mean, hey, if you want to hang out with people that want to get rid of their phone, that's fine. And for a little bit, things were okay. And then the guy just started getting really pushy about their technology use. Like, they'd be hanging out and someone would text somebody back and he'd be like, wow, way to disconnect yourself from the fabric of human bonds by looking at your device. They'd be like, chill, bro, my mom was asking me what I wanted for dinner and I don't really want SpaghettiOs, so I told her that I wanted Easy Mac, you know what I'm saying? And the guy would be like, yeah, that's what's wrong with society, and just started getting very preachy. And trust me, you don't want to be the person in the friend group that just makes the vibe terrible, you know, like, oh, you guys are eating Lay's potato chips, didn't realize that you guys were supporting processed food and the way it destroys America. It's like, Derek, I'm just trying to eat some chips. Leave me alone. If I want to enjoy sea salt and vinegar chips, that's on me. I don't really care if, you know, that means that every now and then I get a disconnect from society. I'm not really vibing with society much anyways, so please leave me alone. Regardless, eventually they just kind of stopped inviting him around because he would be super weird about phones. Like, he would be like, oh, technology is disgusting. I don't really know how you get involved in a cult, but I'm pretty sure that how it starts, you know, you start off pretty normal and then you slowly just get crazier and crazier. Like, I've never met anybody or seen a documentary of people in a cult where they're like, oh yeah, me? Nah, I was just straight up in. Yeah, the second I met them, I was like, I will burn down a farm in order to keep this working. Like, that's not usually what happens. You progressively get crazier. So as he got crazier, they just kind of stopped hanging out with him more and more because they were like, this guy's not fun to be around. He's not cool to be around. He complains all the time. He's always whining if we're on our phones. It's just not the type of thing where, like, we want to hang out with you. So they slowly but surely kind of got him out of the group. And as he got more removed from normal people and started hanging out more and more with, like, the people that, you know, were anti-phone, which sounds so cringe to say, but, like, and I get it, okay? I understand being like, people spend way too much time on their phones these days. We don't really have the same friendship and connections that we used to. All right, fair enough. But saying that we need to get rid of them entirely is ridiculous. Like, phones do a lot of good, okay? Think about how many people haven't been kidnapped because they were able to, you know, call the cops. Regardless, I guess after a little bit, he kind of reached out to them and was like, look, I'd really like to hang out with you guys again. I know I did some things that weren't that nice, but I have some stuff I want to talk to you guys about. And they're like, all right, well, we were friends with this guy for a while, so, you know, screw it. Let's just go. So they all go over to his house to hang out, and they walk in, and almost all of the, like, technology cult group of kids is standing there. And they're kind of like, I didn't realize this was a joint thing, you know? I thought this was us talking to you. And he's like, guys, can you sit down? There's some stuff I want to talk to you about. And they're like, okay, this is not how I expected to spend my Friday night, but sure. And they sit down, and the guy starts telling them with, like, the rest of this, you know, technology cult of how evil technology is, how bad their phones are, and how, like, they need to get off them as soon as possible because it's literally melting their mind. At one point, he referred to phones as a blender for the soul, which, like, what do you, a blender for the soul? Okay, calm down, H.P. Lovecraft, you poet. Come on. I don't really think my soul is being blended by my Samsung Galaxy. At least I hope not. I didn't really have much of a soul anyways.
So whatever, they're kind of realizing very slowly that they were tricked here, and now they're having an intervention because they have too much technology, you know? Like, they're like, you guys are just addicted, and they're like, dude, did you invite us over to hang out to try to convert us to your insane cult? He's like, it's not a cult! Very defensively. We are people who believe that human interaction should be real, and they're like, yeah, so a cult. So they realize that they are at this meeting to try to convince them to, you know, throw down their iPhones and join a society in which the good things are valued, like free time and bagels. I don't know what bagels and iPhones have to do where they can't exist in the same world, but apparently that's a thing, and they're kind of like, I'm good. So they kind of start arguing back and forth with everybody about the phone thing. They're like, look, we don't want to give up our phones. We're not giving up our phones. Stop trying to convince us to. We don't think technology is that bad. We're not going to quit. And he's like, wow, you guys are so selfish. I can't believe you. And, you know, do you understand how harmful these devices are? Do you know how much they're hurting you? And when this gets said, the person who sent me this story decided to put their phone on the table and say, go ahead, phone, hurt someone. Go ahead, see? Oh, wow, this phone sure is violent. It really is hurting everybody. To try to prove a point of, like, phones don't hurt people. People's, like, usage of the phone is what, like, if you can't control yourself, that's a problem. But if you control yourself, it doesn't matter, you know? And he puts his phone on the table. He's like, go ahead, phone, hurt somebody. Go ahead. And I guess this enrages their friend that, you know, used to be full of technology or what. This sounds like the plot to a really, really bad movie. So regardless, the guy who's trying to convince them to quit technology gets pissed and says, that's it, you're being disrespectful now. Picks up the guy's phone, throws it as hard as he can at the wall, and then goes over and starts like stomping on it. Obviously, you know, iPhones went back to being glass on glass for some reason, so the iPhone does not handle it very well because this was a brave man who decided to go caseless, okay? And going caseless is a lot like wearing protection. Wrap it, all right? Just wrap it, trust me. And the worst part is this kid had just gotten a brand new phone. So now his brand new iPhone is being trampled on by an obese man who swears that technology is going to be the death of everybody. And no phone deserves that. Rest in peace, iPhone. Comment RIP iPhone if you, in fact, are depressed over the fact that this iPhone did not get to live a long life. His name was Kevin. He was born in a sweatshop in China by a small child named Ling Ling who had put 1,800 other phones together that day. She had a special bond with this iPhone and eventually said, I won't be able to live a dream, but maybe you can, iPhone. Rest in peace. On this day, he was sadly smited down by the angry elf that hated technology. So this guy's brand new iPhone is now looking like this, you know? It is not a very pretty sight. That thing has been smashed. It's been destroyed. It's been flabbergastedly... what's another word for broken? And obviously that doesn't make him too happy. He's like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, no, if you guys aren't going to listen to my words, then it's up to me to save you. Like, what? Are you kidding me? That's the equivalent of going up to somebody and saying, hey, man, I'm not trying to be crazy or anything, but I actually think that if you drive a Volkswagen, you're at risk. And the person goes, wow, that's crazy, but I bought this car and I don't really care what you have to say because I don't know you. So thanks for the tip, but I'm going to keep driving my Volkswagen. And you say, well, this is for your own good. In lighting the car on fire on the side of the freeway and then getting naked and running at all the firefighters so that they can't put it out, okay? Like, that is the equivalent of what you just did. It's not actually good. It's like, if you're not going to listen to me, then I'm going to break your phone. Everybody else get their phones out. And obviously all the people there that are like from the OG friend group that just watched somebody's phone get smashed are like, hey, I'm not gonna give you my phone. It's nothing personal. I just saw you break his like a crazy person, and I'm not really gonna try to get involved in that, all right? Like, I'm not gonna go out of my way to get my phone broken too. That's not something that I'm very interested in. Thank you for the flattering offer, but I'll keep my phone intact the way that I like it. And I guess the guy goes, no, you're not leaving here with your phones. It like signals the rest of the kids in the technology cult to take their phones. So now there's a group of technology people like going at you, trying to take your phone. One person gets their phone taken and they just like throw it and start trying to break it. So everybody else starts trying to leave and like run away. And there's people chasing people around the house to try to break their phone, bro. This was an ambush. iPhones everywhere got surprise attacked. They didn't even see this coming. They did not go into this house expecting to get thrown at a wall. So regardless, in all the chaos, the kid's parents come down and like, what are you doing? He's like, we need to get rid of their phones. And they're like, no, you can't break other people's stuff regardless of whether or not you don't
don't believe in phones. Like, you can't just break people's stuff. It's like, oh, why not? And they're like, because you can't. That's wrong. And he's like, whatever. They need to disconnect from technology anyways. So they finally calm everybody it down, and 2 iPhones had gotten smashed in the process, all right? Which, I mean, out of like the 5 that they were there to smash, I guess, are pretty good odds. You have pretty good survival chances. And obviously the parents are trying to figure out what's going down, and it finally comes out. The kid's like, yeah, I broke their phone, but they deserved it. They're like, son, why would you break their phone, you idiot? Like, even the parents are sitting there. Son, are you kidding me? You invited these kids over to their house to ambush them with an anti-technology speech, and then when they said, hey man, no, you decided to smash their phones? Are you kidding me? And he's like, you know, you guys have always told me to follow my heart. That's what my heart told me to do. They're like, yeah, well, maybe your heart sucks, okay? If your heart is telling you to destroy people's personal possessions, maybe you shouldn't listen to your heart all the time. We're changing the rules. No more listening to your heart, right? And they're like talking to the kid. The kid's mom comes over to the kids whose phone got destroyed, and they're like, look, we'll pay for your phones. Don't sweat it. Like, how much were they? And obviously a brand new iPhone 11 is a little pricey, but thankfully this kid's parents were rich, which makes his behavior even weirder. And they paid for them to get new phones, called their parents and explained the situation, and decided to ground their kid for a bit. But yeah, moral of the story is you might bump into a group of kids that want to actively destroy your phone because you've just got too much swag and the booty pics come through at too fast of a rate, so be careful out there.
You can earn up to $650 per year with Boost Checking from Dordt Financial Credit Union. Boost Checking pays a high rate on balances up to $10,000. Plus, no minimum balance, no monthly service fees, and no hassle. You can earn up to $650 annually to do what you love. Boost Checking from Dordt Financial. Fulfilling dreams, supporting community for over 70 years. Qualifications apply to earn the highest dividend rate. Limit 1 checking account per membership. Dividend rate subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Federally insured by NCUA.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Alright, so the person who sent this in is obviously a little bit older than someone that usually is sending in stories, but he was a teenager back in the day when you would still have to be in the arcade to be a gamer, and he was still very into it, so he would be at the arcade pretty often. Basically, every Friday night he would go to the mall, they had an arcade in there, and it would be really packed. All of his friends were there, it was a spot where everyone would just kind of hang out. And the person who sent this in's favorite game was Street Fighter. You know, that was the game that he really liked to play, so he would spend most of his time at that machine playing against his friends and other people. And it just so happened that the Street Fighter machine was right next to Time Crisis, which is a good arcade game. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, Time Crisis is one of those ones that has the little pistols that you pew, pew, off the screen to reload, you know, and there's bad guys coming at you. Think a game like that. And anyways, you know, because they were right next to it, they would kind of sometimes when they weren't playing, watch the person that was playing Time Crisis, you know, or have conversations with people in line. And for whatever reason on this particular Friday night, there was a 30-year-old man there that was just addicted to Time Crisis. This dude was blowing through quarters like an absolutely insane rate. Going through quarters faster than Charlie Sheen goes through a bag of flour, you know? No joke, was probably spending $20 an hour in quarters just playing Time Crisis. And, you know, I'm not trying to judge anyone, but you would think someone spending that type of money at an arcade would be good at the game that they were playing. But this guy sucked. He just kept dying in the same spot over and over again and getting very frustrated. And so everyone at the Street Fighter machine started getting entertained by how bad this dude was at this game. Honestly, I don't know who would spend $20 an hour at an arcade machine that they're garbage at. That just doesn't sound like fun to me, you know? I think it's a bigger flex to spend $1 and play for 8 hours. This guy had the reversal going on, you know? It's like How to Go Broke in 15 Seconds featuring an arcade in the 90s. Regardless, everyone's just kind of watching this guy out of the corner of their eye, kind of being entertained by it. And after about an hour straight of this guy playing Street Fighter, a kid who's probably about 11 years old comes up and taps the man on the shoulder, and asks if he can have next, which, you know, was pretty standard practice in arcades, I guess. I've never really been in one that's like crazy popping, but I'm assuming because there's only like one machine for each game that, yeah, you kind of have to let people have a turn. But this dude sneers at the kid and tells him to F off. You know, he doesn't say F off, I'm trying to keep it monetized, but just very, very rudely tells this kid, no, you're not allowed to play this game. Time Crisis is mine. And the kid, instead of backing down and being afraid of an adult that's being mean, looks at him and goes, I'll go get the manager and tell him that you're yelling at me and not sharing the game. Which, you know, I guess was a big deal in arcades back in the day, because this guy kind of stands down a bit, realizes that he's going to have to give this guy a turn, so he waits, he gets to the spot where he's died every single time he's tried, and he dies again. And so he's pissed off, but he's like, fine, you can have a turn, but you only get one turn, and then it's mine again. And he like puts a quarter down, which, you know, is marking your spot. And he thinks that this is going to be pretty quick, because as I've said, he's just been trying to beat the same spot over and over again and keeps failing, and it's like 2 minutes into the game. So, you know, he told this kid that he gets one try. He's probably thinking it's going to be quick, and the kid is pretty good. He's flying through it. And he gets to the spot where, you know, he keeps dying. It's like the first little boss fight situation where there's a bunch of enemies on screen. And the little kid gets to the spot, and the old man is standing behind him kind of watching him and goes, finally, it'll be my turn soon. Like, he says it out loud, thinking that this kid's about to get wrecked. And this 11-year-old just flies through it with no difficulty. Like, doesn't get damaged, doesn't have to heal, just boop, 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 done, and moves on. And that seriously pisses off this old dude that's watching, you know. To the point where he starts throwing a hissy fit because this kid managed to beat it. He's like, what? Yeah, that's right, man. Apparently, this old man was just so angry at the fact that a literal child could beat what he couldn't, dude, which goes to show how good he was at video games. All right, guys, I'm gonna interrupt the video for just 1 second. If you take a look at your screen now, you will see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give away a gift card every single video I post here on this channel as a way to say thank you to you guys for turning on those notifications and subscribing. If you haven't already subscribed, turn on notifications. I literally give away free money, so you got nothing to lose. And if you already subscribed with notifications on, then you're an absolute G, and I appreciate you. And on that note, I will shut up and get back to the video. Thanks. This guy is like literally whining out loud about the fact that this kid beat it and it's unfair. Like, what the hell? That makes no sense. Keep in mind, this is a 30-year-old man whining in an arcade because a child just beat the part that he could not. If an 11-year-old flies through a level that like you can't, or a situation you can't, you know, you might just not be that good at what you're doing. Like, that might be a sign that you are dramatically awful at the game you are playing. Anyways, the old guy works himself into being so upset that he is now literally in tears, so literally crying because of a Time Crisis video game, and yelling full volume to the point where it's basically impossible to ignore him if you are in there. Listen, if you ever find yourself being 30-year-old, like, crying in an arcade because someone's better at a video game than you clearly have, like, gone too far. You gotta restart, you know? I don't know if you need to move back home for a couple years and, like, redo your childhood or what, but just don't. How about you just don't be a 30-year-old crying in an arcade, because it's just weird, dude. It's just not that deep. Why is this kid better at a video game than me? I don't know. Go get a job. I'm sure your mom wants some help paying rent. Never any reason you could have for like sobbing over a video game in an arcade that would make you look good. It gets so loud and impossible to ignore, like his crying and whining over this situation, that the manager has to come over. He just can't ignore it. People are like kind of staring at it to the point where it's interrupting everyone else's good time. And so the manager comes over and asks what the problem is. And the 11-year-old had just kind of been ignoring the man having a tantrum to that point. But he says, I got through this. Now he's just throwing temper tantrum, and the man is kind of like upset, you know, and starts saying how the kid's hogging the machine, he's been playing for too long, trying to blame it on the kid. And at that point, the subscriber that sent this to me, that's on the machine next to them, pipes up and he goes, that's not true, man, you've been hogging it all day. This is this kid's first time, and as soon as you beat the spot you're stuck on, you started crying. Like, come on. And the manager at that point, realizing that everybody's on the inside, no one's really backing up this old man, understands the situation, that this guy's just taking it a little bit too seriously, a little bit too far, and he's got it. He's been here too long, you have to leave. And the old man gets very upset and just declines.
Someone watched it 2 times, or 2 different people watched it for a little bit.
Please leave under your own free will. But instead of I'm not leaving, I paid to be here, I'm not going anywhere. This is ridiculous, I don't have to leave at all. And obviously the manager is just not having
And
he can kick you out. It's his arcade, bro. Like, he can just kick you out. Whether or not you put money in the machine doesn't matter. So he starts to kind of push the guy towards the exit.
Oh yeah, and why are you trying to make a bunch of YouTube accounts?
Kind of walk in and out of, and he starts pushing the guy towards the exit. And apparently that makes this 30-year-old man be like, oh, if I can't play Time Crisis, then no one can. Because he lunges towards the machine.
Ooh, purple Jerry. These are rare.
The only problem is, yeah, nowadays if you punch a monitor, it's for sure gone. Like, the LCD screens are just a little bit more fragile, you know. You can blow on them and they might crack. But this is the 90s, you know, so this is just a solid CRT monitor in an arcade cabinet. So instead of, like, his hand punching it and hearing a crack or going through
Ooh,
it,
150K.
his hand just smashes into it and the screen blinks a little bit. Nothing happens. The only thing that does happen is his hand gets dramatically messed up, dude. He, like, yelps in pain.
Yo, what's
falls
up,
to the
Drew?
floor and starts crying, being like, but surprisingly,
You watching
whether or
stream
not he
chat?
hurt his hand and starts crying, it doesn't magically, like, unkick him out.
Yeah, I'm
you know?
killing a
He's
bunch
still
of
getting
Endermen,
kicked
like,
out by the
last
manager.
stream.
The manager's not just gonna, like, let you stay because you punched a monitor and hurt yourself. It's flabbergasting to think that anyone
There's
would
these
think
new,
that that's how it
there's
works,
these
you know?
things
Like,
that are
if anything,
temporarily
when
there
you
for,
think the
like,
manager was gonna say this,
that are, like, called Jerry boxes. If you kill a certain amount of these things called Jerry's, you could get one, and there's, like, colors green through purple, I think, or green through yellow, or like gold or something. The rarest I've got is a purple. I just got it.
So as I said, he's kind of laying on the floor
And
crying.
I'm killing a bunch of Endermen so I can use this spicy aspect of the dragons.
And the guy's just still crying about how he doesn't want to leave and it's unfair to kick him out and blah 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 blah.
So wait, one thing I'm gonna test first is so I'm like, oh, what am I watching? Oh, just like a story. It's just a story, so it's not just me killing Endermen. So anyone watching it has something to watch instead of just like hearing a bunch of Endermen and me really talking. But yeah, I'm trying to get spicy. See this top thing next to a void sword? I'm trying to make it spicy by reforging it.
If I was a little kid in an arcade and someone gave me $5 in quarters,
no, I accidentally
that made everything all right with that.
spicy.
You know what I mean? Honestly, if anything, I would have been hyped to have been.
I'm gonna check my damage with and without my damage armor.
I'm sure that
So
Crisis man went home and cried about it for years.
I'm gonna
about how the haters
here.
stopped him from breaking the world record. Moral of the story, I guess, is don't punch
6,200. And then
chances are you're just gonna hurt
If you're hearing this in Rolls-Royce, then Donald Trump's tax plan is
yeah, so 6,000, 5,000.
But for everyone else, there's Kamala Harris's plan.
6,000 and 5,000. So now I'm gonna check my damage armor.
That guy in the Ferrari doesn't need
And
another
8,000, 8,000, 8,000. Supposed to do more crit damage. See how it says 110 plus 60? With the sharp one, it was supposed to be way more. But it's still fine, doesn't matter.
And this person
So
over and drove away, left everything at the break. I knew it was a curse, so I contacted our fraud department to hold on the account. Yeah, she saved the day with my logo.
Get more than money from you.
yeah, I'm getting like no crits. I'm gonna change it. You're busting right now, bro. What the fuck?
It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day. I know I am. And
Is the game audio loud?
No joke, no scam. You'll be kidnapped by a man named Jose who's going to take you to his village in Uruguay and sell you on the black market. Yeah, that's right, guys. I don't make the rules, but I would press the like button. It's not worth the risk. Anyways, guys, what's going on? It's your boy Scrub here, and as you can tell from the title and thumbnail, today I have a pretty entertaining story for you guys. this is another subscriber story. You guys are really just, you know, carrying the channel this month. Amen. Lord save me. I appreciate all of you guys sending in some swag-tastic.
Yeah, I almost have 3 million coins.
Today I have a story about
I'm not broke anymore.
Gone wrong. Yeah, that's right. Normally school sucks bad enough, but school on the go is actually way worse. And the person who sent me this story actually
Yeah, so my crit damage is like basically the same, and there's a way higher crit chance. Some Family Guy chat, bro. Unless I use desktop view, no. And chat, Family Guy. Out of anything you wanna watch, Family Guy. Not even Simpsons clips. Not South Park. None of that.
Amusement park for the physics class. You know, the physics teacher was like, "Hey, what's a better way to learn about physics than ditching school and going and talking about physics all day?" That's what really matters. I think it's funny when people try to like trick themselves into thinking that roller coaster is physics, so therefore kids will learn about physics by going through survival world or something. The last thing I'm thinking about is that middle-aged bald man did tell me about the conservation of motion. No, I'm out there on a roller coaster having myself a good time, you know, but whatever. The physics teacher gets it around. Which nobody is going to be. Obviously, the entire grade is incredibly high because it's pretty dang fun when you get to go to your friends for like school. Plus, there's a worksheet that you know they gave.
I got some ender boots.
Questions that you could do in 5 minutes. You know, it wasn't like you were actually gonna have to work all day. So
everybody's
starting to get excited. Everybody's starting to have this. I wouldn't be surprised if Drew's actually before they go into.
Wait, chat, I'm about to take a piss. 1 sec.
Being on a school bus is a miserable experience. Don't get me wrong. Like the amount of times I've been on a school bus and been like, oh wow, I sure am enjoying this. Can't wait to come back here. Is absolutely zero. Nobody has ever been happy to be on a school bus. That's like, I don't know, where people get diseases and people learn to, you know, be like your childhood dies on a school bus, basically. You guys know what I'm saying? It's true. Your childhood can barely survive being on a school bus because it's just one of the worst places to ever exist in humanity. Like, if you went back to the ancient Greeks and Romans and said, hey, you can have internet be on a school bus, they would probably
Stop.
I don't really think that's worth it. But regardless, they're on the bus and their principal and their teachers. And
stop trying to stop trying to get my stream canceled or something. I don't know. I don't want the clip. I don't want it to get taken down again.
Why, can they hear me?
Yeah, my phone's right next to my mic.
Wait, what happened yesterday with it?
Nothing good. Stream a while ago got taken down. Where the hell is my Jerry?
None of you guys get up to no good. And I swear adults have this thing for foreshadowing where like they preemptively talk
Green
about
Jerry box. Probably gonna be farming XP.
Breakdown as to what happens if you get in trouble, and of course, after hearing that, everybody proceeded to get in tons of trouble
my phone's low.
And caused a lot of problems. But
hey, you just use a party?
Yeah, sure.
It's almost as soon as the kids are like going to the park, like chaos starts to ensue. And I don't know if it was the physics teacher or the principal or the owner of the park that didn't think this through, but for some reason they decided that these kids were going to be mature enough to not be chaperones. Just roam around this amusement park with no adult supervision. Let your hormones run free. And almost immediately there's like problems off the bat. So within the first like hour of the 8 kids get caught stealing. I guess the owner of the park, for whatever reason, was like, okay, kids are stupid, they should steal, I'm not gonna punish them for these kids being idiots and stealing, which is good, because these kids weren't very good at stealing either. Like, they would walk into the store, the person that was in charge of it, pick up merchandise, and then walk out, and were surprised when they got caught. And when the people were asking them, like, why would you try to do it? That's the worst way to steal stuff. They said, oh, we were trying to act casual. Yeah, acting casual means not bringing suspicion to yourself, not walking up to the guy in the hat store and saying, hey man, cool hats, putting one on, and then walking out. Like, that's not acting casual, that's just obvious theft. Imagine this in a You walk up to the car. Yo, dude, nice car. And then throw him out of the car and drive away. And the police are like, why did you do that? You
Oh
know,
shit, I only need 22k more XP.
you were acting like you were an IRL GTA player that was just hell-bent on ruining everything. I'm actually not for killing that guy. I'm kind of a jerk, I'm not even gonna lie. I kind of deserve to get punched in the face for that. So there's kids stealing things. There's kids, you know, going on dark rides and enjoying the ride. You know what I'm saying? But not enjoying the ride for the reasons they like, for other reasons. So, you know, by noon, the guy's like, all right, you need to get your kids out of the park. Like, they're causing too many problems. Half of them are causing issues, stealing. All right, fine. Over the intercom, they basically say, all right, guys, since you guys can't behave, we're leaving. Way to go, you morons. You have 20 minutes to get back to the bus. Extra points, yada, Sorry, I had to edit out that really quick. So, when this kid who sent me the story, he decided, you know, okay, look, I'm gonna eat this roller coaster, the most intense
like the
roller coaster
drip.
in the park really quick. And they were eating lunch, him and his group. He said, look, the wait line's 15 minutes, so we should be able to get on the ride and run to the bus.
Alright, I'm chat. What's up? Alright, Drew, you still watching?
Anyways, like all day they had wanted to ride this roller coaster. They got into it. So they leave their lunch happy. Wasn't feeling too well that day. He wasn't, and he kind of looks at his friends and goes, are you feeling good? And he goes, no, not really, but it'll be okay. So they're kind of talking, and the kid, he's talking to him, you know. Yeah, that's true. You're gonna be okay though? No, because he doesn't think anything of it. You know, if you think you're gonna be on a roller coaster, you probably be wrong about it. So they're both not feeling very well, so they're kind of talking in the back of the group. And the people behind them is his crush and her friend. So they all four start kind of talking, and they're really like, oh, on this ride, he's like, neither of me. And she's like, aha, well, next time I'll have to ride it with you. We'll have to come some other time. And like implies that he should ask her out to come back here, right? So he's feeling hyped right now. So they get in the seats, and he is. So he is there's 3 rows. So the first row has the other kid who's sick. The kid behind him is the kid who sent me the story. And behind him is the kid. And that's how the 3 are. And there's obviously people next to them. It's not like a one-road thing, but you guys get the idea. So he was sitting next to his friend, but the other kid who he was talking to who was also sick is in front of him. So the 2 people that don't feel very well are sitting in front
How
of
much
one,
money did I
the other,
gain?
or behind the
So
other.
everything.
Did my best to describe that as good as I could. So they're on the roller coaster and they start going up the hill, and the kid in front of him is not feeling very good, turns around and looks at him and says, I don't feel so good. And he's like, oh, okay. And he goes, I'm sorry. And before my friend can respond, or not my friend, the kid who sent me the story can respond, he vomits everywhere. And they're going uphill, so the vomit falls back and hits the kid who's telling me the story. And he's already not feeling very well. So he, to avoid the puke, looks to his left. But the way the seats were, that makes him look behind him onto his left. And the vomit hits him, and he throws up from being grossed out by the vomit, and his vomit spews all over his crotch. All over his crotch. Now, he's covered in vomit, and he just vomited all over his crush. And call me crazy here, but no girl wants to go out with the guy that just vomited all over her. So, obviously, he's going to start saying, I'm so sorry. It's all over this girl's face. It's all over her shirt, and she's like, it's okay. But it's one of those things that you say it's okay because there's nothing you can do about it, but you're not actually cool with it, you know, it's just it's okay. And it's like, well, we're gonna just get this coaster over with. It's the most embarrassing day of my life, but it doesn't matter. And then they get to the top of this hill, and then the ride stops. And they walk out there, awkward silence, you know, the fact that he just vomited all over his crotch, also soaked in vomit. So the ride is going to go from the top of the hill. So he goes back to look at his crush again. The ride jolts suddenly. He throws up again all over her after it had already like dry. So we puked on his crush twice. Get off. And they're like, everybody that was in that, not just everybody in that little back of the bus together, which was unair conditioned, and just sit in the baking puke that was all over them, and he vomited on his crush, which I'm sure did not improve his chances of actually getting a date. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the most disastrous field trip story that I think I've ever heard. Vomiting on your crush is pretty dang embarrassing. Like, I really don't think it could get any worse than that. But, yeah, if you enjoyed, feel free to go down there and scope out the merch, press the like button, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, insert on notifications. Today's notification shout-out goes to Random Stuff JMJ. Big shout out to you for having on notifications. Shout out, turn them on, send a post onto my Instagram at Scrubby, and I shout somebody out every single day. But, yeah, moral of the story, don't throw up on your crush. This has been Scrubby. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And hopefully I'll see you guys next time with another video. I'm out. Peace.
If you're hearing this in your Rolls Royce, then Donald Trump's tax plan is for you.
Rich as hell. We're gonna give you a tax cut?
But for everyone else, there's Kamala Harris's plan.
Under my plan, more than 100 million Americans will get a tax cut.
Because that guy in the Ferrari doesn't need another break. But Kamala Harris knows you sure could use one. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
Okay, true stories from Huntington with Jen and Mindy.
Somebody came through the drive-thru. I looked at the ID. It said Mindy.
You knew Mindy?
I did. I said, oh my gosh, hi, Mindy. And this person looked over and drove away, left everything at the branch. I knew it wasn't her, so I contacted our fraud department and had a hold put on the account.
Well, sounds like she helped save you from identity theft, Mindy.
Yeah, she saved the day. She was my little guardian angel.
Get more than money from your bank. Welcome to Huntington. Real people come.
Oh, a golden Jerry box.
So I go to a
This
school
guy's
that's
trying to
of a private school, right?
get
Meaning that there's a bunch of
people.
kids that think that, you know, their dad is actually a multi-billionaire owning Amazon, like just being a James Bond villain constantly. You know, there's a lot of people in my school.
How the hell does this kid not know what dibs is?
In a private school, and for the most part, most of them are pretty chill and understanding. But there's this one group of girls that is just the most unbearable group ever. We're the type of girl that constantly reminds you that like their outfit costs $700.
I don't even care.
Girls that it's constantly
Yeah, but
that their dad is like a
yeah, he did call it first though, so
constantly reminding you that you know.
yeah, and I accidentally left, so and there's like a very low chance to get in the same server, so yeah, he's probably gonna get it.
One thing that really bugs me about rich kids flexing is that like
Yeah, and
it's not
I
even
could
more
just
money.
get one
You
myself.
expect when a rapper is flexing or like when an NFL player flexing, because it's like, hey, you worked really hard. Like, you made all that money. Congratulations, man. You did it. Congrats.
Yo, Drew, did you join the
last album went multi-platinum?
Discord?
Like, wow, your album went multi-platinum. But when a kid starts being like, my dad makes a lot of money, that's cool, Timothy. You're not really your dad, though. And regardless, there was this one group of girls in particular that was super popular at the school, and they were the worst about flexing on other students. Like, it was almost as if they thought the only thing that counts in a personality is how much money your parents make, all right? Like, there's nothing else that they do that's actually good, so they were like, and because it was a private school, most teachers would kind of cave into the kids. They'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I'll take away your homework because I don't want your dad to come in here and yell at me and get me fired from the private school, you know? Like, most teachers would honestly be super, super nice to the kid, even if they were being a jerk and just being mean about money. Like, it would just get weird a lot of times with teachers. But there was one teacher that just didn't put up with much kids crap, alright? It was a science teacher, because for some reason science teachers are the most logical, and they kind of realized that if you let a bunch of teenage kids bully you into feeling like you're poor, you're probably going to continue to get bullied, you know? No one's ever been bullied by a bunch of kids and then been like, I'm going to cave in and not been...
A Jerry Sheen gun.
Down, you know what I'm saying? And
Now,
that's just
what
the
is
rules for life.
that?
If somebody's being a jerk, you don't let them be a jerk. You got to stand up to them, bro, because once you stand
Oh,
up...
you didn't join the Discord? Alright, because you didn't join the Discord, oil up, I'm coming to your house and dirty. You know the consequences, bro.
Airbnb for their trip to Hawaii. They're gonna have to stay in this like 4-star Airbnb.
Oh, Blue Jerry, where is it? Where is it?
Really stressing her out because they're gonna ruin her weekend. As if it's just normal to take a weekend trip to Hawaii, bro. Like, oh, it's Friday, going to Hawaii. I hate having to fly commercial. Wish we had the private jet. Like, and this isn't science class, mind you. This isn't at lunch where she's like talking to her friends and all. Like, she interrupted the class to tell everyone that her dad is stupid because he only got them a 4-star Airbnb for their weekend trip to Hawaii. as if that's just something everybody does. Like,
Alright, please give me something good. Man, fuck this. I only got 900 XP.
Real thing? Like, you can be mad about going to Hawaii? Is that possible? Bro, this girl's ruining the whole luau.
Okay.
Man. I don't want her to get away at all. If she pulls up to the luau, I'm leaving, dude. Because what's she gonna do? Complain that there's not 3 pigs for her to eat? And the teacher goes, no.
Kendra, are you the one who typed in chat to call on Discord?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you go to your OBS and then share your screen on OBS real quick?
Okay.
It's to fix your mic, because on stream for us when you're watching it, it sounds like we're in your room. It's like it's because that mic is like stereo, so it like it's weird because it comes from both like speakers in my headphones, so it sounds like I don't know. So it's to fix it so it doesn't sound like that.
If I was a teacher and some kids started interrupting my class,
Okay, and then right click on this on your microphone.
The type of girl that's
on here.
About only staying
Yep, right click. I go to advanced audio properties.
Told no in her life. Like, it's pretty
and then go to look for mic, and then you see where it says the square box, like a square unchecked box to the left.
Yes.
You interrupted the class.
Nope, go over.
No reason.
Keep going to the left. It's in between 00 dB and that blue line with the white. Like, but to the left more, all the way to the left. Keep going, that square.
Oh, this?
Go over to, no, right, there's like go over one more.
There?
One more. It's a square box, it's a square empty box.
Like one of
You
these?
keep passing it, you see the letter L?
This? Oh, this? Oh, this.
So, yeah, that box, yeah, click that. Basically what that does, it merges your both the left and right channel, so that way it doesn't sound like we're in your room with you.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. Other than that, good job. Also, you have to post link. I already posted it for you, but you gotta remember to post your live stream link in the bare YouTube in the server.
How do I do that? I thought it automatically posts.
It's supposed to, but sometimes it doesn't work for some reason. So if it doesn't within like, I normally do it manually because it doesn't work sometimes. It's supposed to though. Also, I think let me see something. I'm trying to look at your OBS.
The teacher can't talk back to her that way because she's embarrassed that she got.
Is it my microphone? Wait 1 second.
She stands up and screams, "You need to apologize to me right now, or I will call my father down to the school to yell at you," which is a really weird threat to give an adult. Like, if you don't apologize to me for me being a jerk, then I'm gonna call my dad.
We'll click on the 3 dots for Discord real quickly and click on properties.
Like, imagine when someone was being mean to you in school, you were like,
You
"Yeah,
can close that
I'll
window.
have my mom come yell at you." Like, all right,
and then go to the 3 dots for
I'm not
Discord
really picking up what
and click on
you're putting down.
properties.
Like, I'm really not understanding the punishment here. Your parents are gonna yell at me.
Are you watching something too? On your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, change the
At all? So the teacher,
it's on Spotify. So other people could hear it, or so the people watching could hear it.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing it on purpose, so because I'm just killing Enderman and grinding.
My dad could buy you. You're worthless. You're just a dumb teacher. I don't know who you.
Well, I think it's all set now. Let me listen real quick and see. I'm gonna definitely
My
press
dad
up
could buy you. He's so wealthy that the fact that you would even dare disrespect me shows that you have obviously no regard for this school or its inhabitants. Like, just being an absolute jerk, right? Starts bragging about how, you know.
It sounds way better now. It literally sounds like you're speaking directly. I can't explain it. Like, you have to go back and watch your stream to hear the difference, but it sounds way better now. It was like ASMR but worse.
ASMR but worse.
Every day that you're seeing, you know, a
Yeah.
17-year-old girl screaming at a grown man, "My dad could buy you," and she just keeps repeatedly screaming, "I could buy you. My dad could buy you. You're fired.
Also, my
There's no
server
way this
works, so
school's
later
gonna
on,
let
if you want me to show you how to do the thing, I can show
as a
you.
cucumber looks at her
thanks.
and goes, "Honestly, if I
Okay.
was bought by your father, I think I'd end it all because that would still be more bearable than having to listen to your screeching all day."
Alright, so Drew, you still watching? Yep. So does my do I sound better? Like the voice, or does the mic, like me talking, sound better in general?
The teacher goes, "Well, that was entertaining. Let's get back to the lesson." And goes back to teaching the lesson, right? So that day, everything is fine, no big deal. But I guess the girl did tell her dad because a couple days later, the story comes out of the office. Somebody in the office. Apparently, the dad had come in, called the teacher into his office, and profusely apologized for his daughter's behavior. Because when she had told him what happened, he wanted the whole story with her friends. He found out that she was threatening the teacher by saying, "My dad's gonna buy you," and the dad was like, "Oh, God, it's not supposed to be rude like that. I'm so sorry. That's disgusting." Like, super apologetic to the teacher, bruh. So the girl ended up getting in more trouble.
I like my cheese drippy,
Like,
bruh.
I feel like it's good on the dad to
my
finally,
cheese
you know,
drippy,
tell his daughter,
bruh.
like, it's not cool to flex the fact that I have money on everybody else, and no, I'm not gonna buy your teacher because you interrupted the class. Like, sorry, Janice. Relax with the rich spoiledness for a little bit.
I like my cheese drippy, bruh. I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
Dude, like, I'm sorry. Teachers already deal with so much crap all day. The last thing they need to do is get threatened by a
Cheese drippy, bruh.
I'll buy.
I like my cheese drippy.
You're rich as hell. We're gonna give you a tax cut?
But for everyone else,
I like my cheese drippy.
that guy in the Ferrari doesn't need another break. But Kamala Harris knows you sure could use one. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates.
Cheese drippy.
I looked at the ID, it said Mindy.
You knew Mindy.
I said, "Oh my gosh, hi, Mindy." And this person looked over and drove away, left everything at the branch. So I contacted our fraud department and had a hold put on the account.
Well, sounds like she helped save you from identity theft, Mindy.
Yeah, she saved the day. She's my little guardian angel.
Get more than money.
He's my little guardian angel.
Real people.
Man, shut the fuck up!
So, for those of you guys who don't know, I actually got my own house 4 or 5 months ago at this point. I don't really know how long exactly. I'm sure if
I like my cheese drippy, bruh.
I could. But I've been in
Like my
house for 4 or
cheese
5 months
drippy,
now.
bruh.
I'm still relatively new to the neighborhood.
I like my cheese drippy,
was on
bruh.
sale for a while. In fact, it was. I got a good deal on it. But regardless, you know, I guess I'm new to the neighborhood and people didn't know me. It's kind of weird that a 20-year-old kid has his own house. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sure it looked a little bit fishy that I was pulling up to this house every day that had been empty for so long. But like I said, I got the house.
Wait,
I
chat.
went around right
Never
when I
mind. I'm
introduced
about to
myself
stop
to my
streaming,
neighbors.
actually.
And, a lot of them were really, really cool. I
Yeah,
get along
never
with
mind.
90% of my neighbors really